Hi, I'm Ray Talabas, and this is a cigar review for the Cuban Stock uh, Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte. It's about a Churchill size, um, and that's one thing I never really understood is what's the difference between, like, say, a Churchill and a double Corona? I mean, is a double Corona longer? Does it have a thinner ring gauge than a Churchill? I know Churchill's run from, like, say, a 47 ring gauge to a 50 ring gauge, to about 7 inches long. I think double Coronas are 7.5 inches long, I guess, at a 46 ring gauge. But irregardless of what that is one hefty cigar. This is probably probably going to be a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on how long it smokes. Which could be troublesome because if you've seen any of my other prior two reviews, they ran a little bit over 20 minutes to about 30 minutes, and I know that's irregular for most cigar reviews out there on the internet. I don't know. I just talk about a lot of things. Smoking a cigarette, Marlboro Red 100. My last review was the Tatuaje Black Label Corona Gorda, and in that review, I wore a black Cuban stock hat and wanted to give a shout out to that company. It's not a well known company, but they make great cigars, and that's why I decided to pull out this Cuban stock stick, the Extra Fuerte Churchill, for tonight's review. Yeah, and the last, like I said, I've done two prior reviews. The first one being the Opus X Corona, and then the Tatuaje Black Label Corona Gorda. Both times wore hats, and you're probably wondering, does he have hair? Well, here you go. I mean, I might have a little bit of hair, but I don't know. It's kind of dark. I'm not sure you can really discern, what the hell's on his head. But anyway, so tonight, to pair with the the Cuban stock, decided to have my trusty coffee, my trusty Starbucks coffee. Still using the same mug. Don't worry, I washed it. Maybe. And tonight, we're kind of running low on beer. I hadn't been able to go to the liquor store today or yesterday or today, restock up on beer, so forced to drink liquor. I mean, when is that ever a bad thing? I mean, probably is a bad thing all the time. But tonight's liquor is Balvenie, 12-year-old. One of my favorite scotches. The other one being Glenfiddich, 12 or 18-year-old. Balvenie, just a classic Scotch. The classic Scotch flavors. I decided to pair it with the Cuban stock because they share similar flavors, like a little bit of leather, a little bit of cedar, a little bit of fire in the Scotch. Um, the Cuban stock. I mean, if my memory serves me correctly, I haven't smoked one in maybe a year. I bought this is a 5-year-old Cuban stock. This is a 5-year-old Cuban stock. I bought it 5 years ago. At a box of 20, I have probably like four left. Trying to hold on to them as long as possible. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of my cigars just seem to evaporate. I mean, like, I guess I smoke all those cigars, but anyway, for my reviews, I mean, you might say, well, last couple of reviews have been like ridiculously positive for these cigars and everything, but all the cigars that I'm reviewing right now have come from my humidor. My humidors, I have 13 of them. I mentioned that in the first review. Seven of which are large humidors, carry 150 cigars, and then there's like five or six medium to small humidors, and all of them. I mean, they're all in a varying state of fullness. But the cigars that I'm reviewing for this series is they come out of my humidor, my humidors, and I wouldn't have put them in there if I didn't love them. Most of those cigars I had to smoke before, and that's why I bought boxes of them or multiples of them, and and that's why the last couple of reviews have been positive. I don't know. I mean, I know I love this cigar. I know I've smoked enough of these to know that this is a great cigar. Whether or not this sample um, at this age um, lives up to my memory of it, I don't know. But I do know. I mean, I love Cuban Stock Extra Fuertes. Cuban Stock also makes pud. What are they called? Chubbies. You might find those in brick and mortars. You might. I bought some of these at a brick and mortar in Baltimore, and I loved them, and that's why I bought a box of them. You can find Cuban stocks occasionally in brick and mortars, but the box that I bought of these were over the internet. But I know I love the cigar, and whether or not this sample of the Cuban stock lives up to my memory, my good memories of it, it doesn't really matter because I know it's a really great cigar. I've smoked enough of them to form an informed opinion of this particular cigar. So, be that as it may. Mm. Oh, Balvenie, it's such a beautiful Scotch. It's like the classic Scotch. You know what I mean? It's if you know Scotch and bourbon, they're both whiskeys. Um, and how many? Well, we're already 6 minutes in. I should. I'm telling you, some of these cigar reviews. I mean, I'm holding myself up to the standard of the cigar reviews that I've seen over the internet on websites and things like that. And like usually the reviews are like 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the most, and most of my reviews are running 20, 30, and I'm like, am I doing something wrong here? I'm just trying to be as informative and entertaining as possible. I mean, I guess you all can just turn it off if you want to. I mean, whenever you've had enough. But I don't know, that Balvenie's good though. So this might be a long review if I drink enough of this stuff. And what is it? A double shot of it? I don't know. Figure it out for yourself. Chase it with some coffee. Cigarettes. Cigarettes and coffee, yes. Classic combination. Cigarettes and beer. Cigarettes and liquor. I love tobacco. I love coffee. I love tea. I love alcohol. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, some may say that these are vices or whatever, but it makes me happy. So I don't know. Live your life the way you want to live it. I'll live my life the way I want to live it. You leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. You don't leave me alone, well, then we might have a problem. I hate intrusive people. Intrusive people are the kinds of people that get in your business. Man, some people say, well, that's bad for your health. Well, I say intrusiveness could be bad for your health too. I mean, it is true though. I mean, I hate to be that way, but I hate intrusive people trying to tell you how to live your life. Once you figure out how to live your life, and then when you figure that out, you realize that you should let me live my life. Sorry to be preaching. I don't know how I got on that tangent. Sorry about that rant. Balvenie. All right, so we're getting in there. Again, for those of you who might have just popped in, this is my review of the Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte Churchill, about 5 years old. Um, these foot bands are tricky. Yes, it slides right off. Sometimes they don't slide off, and you gotta like peel them off, and that can be a problem. Like peeling off like the band or whatever. It's always, I don't know, man. Sometimes you gotta do calculus to take off a cigar band. I hate calculus. You know what calculus is? You know what mental calculus is? Mental calculus is when you step out the door and people deal with you, and you deal with people, and you're doing mental calculus to kind of like deal with other people. I hate mental calculus, man. I like being forthright. I like being upright. I like being, well, upright. If I drink enough of that Balvenie, I'll be downright. But um, I like being like kind of like just normal. You know what I mean? I want to talk to people honestly. I don't want to have to do mental calculus, but unfortunately, I do a lot of mental calculus when I step out the door. And that's unfortunate. Sorry about that mental rant again. Shouldn't be talking like that. But it's true. I'm just being honest, though. I mean, maybe it's my thing. I don't know. So I just clipped the cap off the head. Uh, I'm doing this with two lighters. Uh, this Colibri and this Zycar. The Colibri's kind of temperamental. It only wants to light once. And then after it lights once, it won't light again most of the time. I mean, hopefully I'll just be able to use one lighter, but from experience, it just doesn't want to light after the second light. We'll see if it lights this time. Oh, all right, awesome. Oh, it lit again. Oh, good lighter. I love good lighters, man. This is my favorite lighter. I've had it the longest. Um, it's been my old reliable when other lighters. Oh, bad fuel. It's been old reliable when other lighters have failed. Um, my favorite lighter. You guys have a favorite lighter? I don't know. I'm kind of quirky, I guess. I don't know. Again, if you've seen any of my other previous two reviews, try to light the edges of the foot around the edge to kind of like ensure like good burn or whatever. Anyway, whoa, that is beautiful. A rich tobacco flavor. Great draw. I mean, a lot of times with these longer cigars, like a Churchill or a double Corona, it's hard to get that. You know, when you're in the first third, it's hard to get a good draw on it because the length is so. I mean, that's from my experience. The length is so long. But hmm, wow, man, I forgot how good these are. Which is probably a good thing because then I probably wouldn't even have this tonight. You know what I mean? I've been trying to save these things, but you know. So here we are in the first third. I know, sorry to get so political on you. Politically correct. I try to stay PC. You know what I mean? Most of the time, but you know, I mean, when the situation arises when you can't be PC, I mean, you gotta step up. You know what I mean? You gotta be like, yo, I've had enough, and enough of this PC shit. You're gonna get the truth. That's the kind of person that I am. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll try to lie to you just to save your feelings, but I'm a person too. Hmm. Wow. I mean, you might not have heard of Cuban stocks before, or the Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte, but man, you don't know what you're missing. But of course, this is a 5-year-old cigar, and man, I mean, it's a rich tobacco flavor. I mean, just complex tobacco flavor, man. It's wow. I mean, this is really good. Mm. Wow. Um. Wow. Wow. Mm. This is better than what I remember it. I mean, like if you can get some Cuban stocks and age them, I mean, I would suggest to do that. If this particular sample is indicative of how they age. Like I said, I haven't had a Cuban stock in maybe a year or two, probably closer to 2 years. And I've always loved Cuban stocks. I mean, like this tastes different from the other Cuban stocks that I've tasted, or my memory of Cuban stocks. Uh, my memory of Cuban stocks is that they're like cedary and peppery and spicy and grassy a little bit. This is just a really complex, deep tobacco flavor that I don't remember tasting that before. Wow. The taste, it's a very full bodied cigar. It's a full bodied cigar. The taste just lingers in your mouth. Um, just, I mean, it's so rich. It's like, almost too rich to smoke. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's like almost like sensory overload. I mean, it's sort of like the last Tatuaje black label I smoked. It's almost like sensory overload how rich this cigar is. Very spicy. There's some, yeah, it's very spicy, very strong. Um, I don't know. I mean, like the first third of this, first inch of the cigar. I mean, I'm hoping it stays like this because I can do this all night long, man. This is beautiful. Has a little pencil lead, like opuses can sometimes have a little pencil lead in it, and this I'm getting some pencil lead. I love pencil lead. I mean, like I don't. You might say, well, why would you love the flavor of pencil lead? But I mean, I don't know. It's like why do you like cigars? Or why do you like cigarettes? I mean, cigarettes taste like burnt dirt, and sometimes pencil lead. You know what I mean? It's sort of like a wake you up kind of flavor. Kind of cuts through the richness of the tobacco that you're smoking, the tobacco flavor that you're smoking. Well, anyway, so that's my impression so far on this cigar. Like I do like a non-traditional reviews of these cigars. I tend to talk about a lot of things, and it kind of like eats up time. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a break, smoke this down a little bit more. My impression so far is wow. I mean, wow. It's just a fantastic cigar. My memories of this, I've always loved it. I mean, I'm like I said, the only reason why I have cigars in my humidors is because I love them, and that's the reason why I have this particular cigar. And this is like I don't remember this cigar being like this, but it is a beautiful cigar. Deep, rich tobacco flavor, complex leather, pencil lead, great draw, great body, great flavor. Um, you know, uh, Sort of like a great woman. Man. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, take a break, smoke this down a little bit more. I'll be right back to you. Sorry for all the political ranting that I went through. Take what you want, take what you will. Um, anyway, um, gonna smoke this down a little bit more, and I'll get back to you in a little bit. All right, take care. Okay, so I'm back again. Been smoking this down a little bit, still on the first third. Thought I'd get back to you guys though. The cigar definitely changes flavor. Um, Earlier in the first third, it was just rich, complex, deep tobacco flavor. Now it's more like a leather and pencil lead, very similar to like an Opus X profile. Um, it's very different from the way it used to be, and that was different. Yeah, that's leather and pencil lead right there. I love those combinations of leather and pencil lead. It's my favorite combination, actually. It reminds me of Opus, good Opus, anyway. But like I said earlier, this is a 5-year-old cigar, and I'm telling you, it tastes fresher than like the day it was taken out of the box and put in my humidor. Um, I mean, it's as strong, if not stronger. I mean, that's been my case with a lot of my cigars that are 3, 4, 5 years old now. Um, they're actually getting stronger than what they used to when they were just fresh out of the box, which I don't understand how they could be stronger, but they just tend to be. And it's weird though because before it used to be thought that Cubans were the only cigars you should age, and like you shouldn't sit on like non-Cubans or whatever because they just wither and like become weak and flavorless. But I mean, even Cigar Aficionado, I wish I subscribed to. I wait every 2 months for that magazine. It's just very well a lot of great articles, and the cigar reviews are great, and it's just a very very good magazine. Has a lot of good articles in it. Magazine for men in the good life. And anyway, they were doing some like they have a connoisseur's corner or something like that where they smoke like aged tobacco cigars, and occasionally they'll do like 10-year-old or 5-year-old non-Cubans, and they'll score like classic scores. So I think that stereotype is going away, where you can age Cubans, but you can't age like non-Cubans. I think that stereotype is going away. My experience, I mean, 5-year-old cigars are just, they're just, I don't think they've even close to reached their peak yet. Of course, Cuban cigars, you know, they say you can age Cuban cigars indefinitely. I mean, you can smoke a 50-year-old Cuban cigar and it's still going to be really good. And Cigar Aficionado has done that. And sometimes they're like 100 scores and everything like that, like pre-Castro Cubans and stuff. So great cigar. Um, Getting mostly leather and pencil lead. Um, yeah, mostly leather and pencil lead right now. Great, great Starbucks coffee. Um, Balvenie. Um, you know, um, I love Glenfiddich. Glenfiddich to me is more closely. These are all single malts I'm talking about. Glenfiddich and Balvenie. I have some Lefrog or Lefro or whatever it's called. I mean, that's definitely an acquired taste Scotch. It's got like a very iodine flavor to it, and it's kind of disconcerting the first time you try it because you're not expecting it. But they say if you put a good amount of water in it, it makes it a lot better. But you really have to be in the mood. I have to be really in the mood to drink Lafroig or Lafro or whatever it's called. They say I guess they say it's the peat flavor, but it tastes like iodine. I don't know. But Balvenie is like one of my favorite single malts. You should try Japanese whiskey. It's in the Scotch tradition, but you can't call whiskey made out of Scotland Scotch. So it's a Scotch in tradition, but it's made in Japan. I would recommend a Scotch called Yoichi. It's made by I want to say Suntory. What is that Suntory? Yamazaki is very good too. I think that's made by Suntory. Yoichi Yamazaki, Teketsaru. Um, there's a coffee malt. Japanese whiskey, especially Yoichi and Yamazaki. Um, it's like Scotch, but like a lot. It's really very much elegant. It's like very smooth and very slippery when you drink it. You get a chance to buy some Japanese whiskey like Yoichi or Yamazaki or Teketsuru. Um, you know, very hard to find, very rare, very expensive. But some sites will charge a lot. Will charge a lot more for it. But you gotta be selective and just shop around and you might find a liquor store that carries it or whatever. But just touching up my cigar here. I don't mind touching up a cigar. I don't see what the big deal is. I mean, as long as it tastes great, the draw is good. I mean, that's all that really matters to me. I mean, touching up a cigar, big deal. People make a big deal about construction. Does it burn straight? Is it wavy? Do you have to touch it up? Who cares? You know what I mean? So you have to touch it up. Did you taste the touch up? No, what matters is the taste. Like the only thing that I have with construction that I care about is the draw, and draws can be fixed. I mean, you can you can kind of like squeeze the cigar, which loosens up the tobacco. You can feel for hard spots, and I mean, anything can be fixed. Well, not everything can be fixed, but touching up a cigar, why would you care? Big deal. I mean, the manufacturing of this manual manufacturing of the cigar was inferior because, like, the burn was wavy or you had to touch it up. Big deal. Get over it. You know what I mean? As long as it tastes good, the draw is good. That's the experience. You know what I mean? Oh, it had like a 2 inch, ash. It shows good construction because it had a 2 inch ash. I hate 2 inch. Well, it looks funny when you have an ash that's too long. I mean, I hate to be destroying all the preconceptions or whatever, but I mean, you do what you want to do. I like ashing I like good ashers. You know what I mean? I don't like looking at a 2 inch ash on my cigar, man. I mean, what's the big deal? If it tastes good, the draw is good. You don't taste the inch of how long an ash is. You don't taste that. You taste the tobacco. Oh, sure, sure. It's a sign of construction. Yeah, whatever, man. I mean, well, just keep what you want to keep. But I mean, that's my viewpoint, and you can keep your viewpoint. I'll keep my viewpoint, and whatever, whatever. To me, as long as it tastes good, the draw is good. That's what you remember, man. And both of which is great in this cigar. The Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte. I want to say Churchill. That's a big ass Churchill, though. I don't want to be hurting anybody's feelings out there, but that's where I'm coming from. I'm not going to go to a cigar lounge and say, faux pas on whatever you believe. I mean, whatever you believe belongs to you. If that's what you go with, it belongs to you. If it belongs to you, that's your property. I mean, I don't want to change anybody's mind out there, but I mean that's how I look at it, and that belongs to me. And I'm just saying it. Believe what you want to believe. For me, it's all about taste and draw. If it tastes good, draws great, and that's what I remember. I mean, what I remember is the taste. What I appreciate is the draw. You know what I mean? What I remember is the taste. What I appreciate at the moment is the draw. But I always remember the taste. And this is a great cigar. I remember this being a great cigar. That's why I buy a box of them. That's why I bought a box of them. and unfortunately, I think I only have like maybe 4 left. Unfortunately, fortunately, I do have a lot of cigars, and I mean, I wish I had like a walk-in humidor that like at a cigar lounge, and I can actually see my cigars. Because when you see a cigar, it's like, oh, that's what I want to smoke. Unfortunately, my humidors, I have two that have glass tops to them, and I can see them, but the rest of them you can't see. So it's like you have to remember where they are, what cigars are where. And like I tend to, like I said in my first review, I mean, the first cigar that comes to my mind I want to smoke is an Opus. You know what I mean? I got like a small mind. You know what I mean? I mean, it just kind of like short circuits the Opus. You know, and I have so many great cigars like this Cuban stock, but which is a good thing because like at least I'm preserving the number of Cuban stocks I have. Kind of a bad thing though because I kind of like forget about the other great cigars I have or whatever, and I tend to consume too many opuses. But a small mind does what a small mind does. But a small mind can appreciate this flavor. I'm still getting leather. I'm still getting cedar, tobacco flavor. Just a very enjoyable smoke. Um, uh, I don't know. I mean, uh, cigars. I mean, you know, makes life enjoyable. I like things that make life enjoyable. You know what I mean? I guess you can discern that from what I do and what I've said I've done. I like driving fast. I have a 2013 Honda Civic Si, black one. Black's my favorite color. Um, I'm not an atheist though. I believe in God. I was and everything like that, but you know, like driving fast in my fast car. Love drinking whiskey. Whiskey's my favorite alcohol, or liquor. My favorite alcohol is beer. Um, love the things that make you happy, like coffee and soda, water, cigarettes, beer. I like things that make you happy. A cigar. I mean, you know, people say. I mean, you really look at a cigar. Oh, it costs like $8 or $10 or whatever, or $15, and you're like, I mean, why do I do this? I mean, it's like, why do I spend this much money on one single product? And it's like, but the cigar lasts at least an hour most of the time, hour plus, and then it's such a enriching experience that you spend with it in that hour and a half, 2 hours if you smoke it. And then you can realize that, wow, this is really worth the money for this experience. You know, it's tobacco, you know, and a lot of times you think about things, or if you're at a cigar lounge, you're talking to other people and you're smoking a cigar and you're talking about various things, and the money is worth it. I mean, you're paying for an experience. You're not paying for like, I mean, like I like wine too, and like, but I'll hesitate buying like a $20 bottle of wine. You know what I mean? Because you can get a really good bottle of wine for like $8 or $10. The $20 bottle of wine, I hesitate. But if I see like five opuses that I can buy for $20, like number twos or Corona Gordas or Churchills or whatever, I mean I'll snap it up. $20 a pop, five of them. Hell yeah, but five bottles of wine at $20. I don't know, for some weird reason there's a disconnect that I just have a hesitation to think about doing that. I don't know why, but I don't know. I guess I value cigars a lot more than I love wine. Don't get me wrong, but I think I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, this is getting long. I'm gonna go ahead and smoke the rest of this cigar down. Probably won't finish it before the end of this. Maybe not even, probably not even into the second third. This review. I'm gonna pause it here and smoke this cigar down. Drink some more coffee. Drink some more Balvenie, and get back to you in a little while. Okay, I'm back again. As you can tell, I'm well into the second third, about halfway into the Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte Churchill cigar. On a beautiful Wednesday night in Baltimore, Maryland. You can hear the crickets cricketing, and there's a wonderful, summer breeze outside. In between shots, I'm right now, I'm filming in an enclosed patio, but in between shots, I go outside to my wooden deck. It's pretty large, very large. Sit out there, enjoy the summer breeze, and enjoy my cigar. Definitely a change in the cigar. Originally, in the first third, especially the beginning, was just really rich, deep, complex tobacco flavor. I mean, it's just intense, and the body is full and everything like that. I really, like I said in my previous reviews, strength, I don't know because, I think I've built up a tolerance to tobacco that I don't really feel strength anymore. I mean, I'm sure it's valid for a lot of reviewers and people, but for me, I mean, it's very rare that I feel strength, like lightheadedness or feeling funny or whatever. I don't feel it anymore. So the flavor profile basically has shifted somewhat more towards like a leather and pencil lead intense flavor, which I love. Spice, very spicy. I mean, people talk about spice. I talk about tobacco spice. You know what I mean? It's just a rich, strong tobacco spice. If tobacco was a spice, and then it leaves like a tingling on your tongue. That's a tobacco spice I taste. Talk about weird flavors in cigars that I've tasted before. I mean, some people say they've tasted popcorn, right? Well, I've tasted popcorn, but my popcorn is like popcorn feet, if you know what I mean, like popcorn mixed with like athlete's foot. It's a funky popcorn flavor. It's kind of weird. I remember exactly the cigar I first tasted it with. It was a Romeo y Julieta Reserva Royale, probably about 3 or 4 years old. And the first time I tasted it was like popcorn feet. I'm like, dude, man, this is popcorn feet. You don't expect tobacco to taste like popcorn feet. But I swear, this Reserva Royale, and I've had it with Opus before and a couple of other cigars. Probably the most interesting flavor that I've tasted was strawberry. Now people say, well, I've tasted like this, that, like lime or mint or whatever. I personally haven't tasted that, and I'm like, how do you taste that? But I swear I tasted like strawberry shortcake, strawberry cheesecake. I forgot what cigar it was. But it's not like the cigar. It's not like a flavored cigarette where it's like strawberry flavored cigarette and the smoke tastes like cigarette. It's more like biting into like a small strawberry or a small piece of strawberry shortcake. The whole cigar smoke doesn't taste like strawberry. It's just the sensation of like of a small strawberry burst on your tongue. And it's like weird as hell. I remember. I remember what it was. It was the mystical, magical cigar that I call the Fuente Fuente Opus X Angel Share. That's a mystical, magical cigar. It just comes up with all kinds of like random flavors. And I remember tasting strawberry on that. I'm like, Wow, the Opus Extra Angel Share. I mean, if you get to experience that cigar, I hope you have the same experience that I did. I did. More of a tobacco flavor now. Gotta touch it up. But Opus X Angel Share, great cigar. Opus X, Lost City Forbidden. I mean, like, great cigars. I think for my next review, I'll do uh, I'll do uh, I'll do I'll do one of an iconic cigar um, by E.P. Carrillo or Ernesto Perez Carrillo, another man of the one of the men of the cigar industry, Ernesto Perez Carrillo. He's a man. He's the man. Um, he used to head up La Gloria Cubana, and then he sold it to one of the either General or Cadiz or one of those large corporations. And then he decided to branch off and have his own company called EP Carrillo, and they make just fantabulous cigars. I love the New Wave Connecticut. I have a box of those. Well, I used to have a box of those, probably half a box now. But when he was at La Gloria Cubana, he created a cigar called the Series R, Series R, and mine is in Maduro, and I think that's probably what I'll do for my next review. Just a wonderful, wonderful, awesome Maduro cigar. I mean, the cigars that I've been reviewing lately have been, what was it, the Opus Corona, the, what was the other one? The Tatuaje Black Label. Not, I mean, and which was a natural, and the one I'm smoking now, which is the Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte, which is more of a Connecticut kind of like medium natural cigar. The Tatuaje is more of a natural kind of dark natural cigar, but I haven't done a Maduro, so I'm gonna. I mean the Cuban the the what is it the La Gloria Cubana Serie R. I mean, it's definitely a Maduro, and so it'll be the darkest cigar that I've reviewed so far in this series, and just an iconic, iconic cigar. I mean, everybody I talked to loved that cigar. A toast to the Serie R with some Balvenie. Running out, unfortunately. As is this review, which is about time. It's running over 40 minutes right now. Um, so yeah, the La Gloria Serie R is a iconic, iconic cigar. Everyone I talk to loves that cigar. They know about it. They love it, and for good reason. I mean, it's just a great, great cigar. Complex, dark tasting, full flavor, full body. It's just a kick-ass cigar from a kick-ass guy, EP Ernesto Perez Carrillo. I mean, he's the man. Um, let's tell you more about this cigar, the Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte Churchill, which is into almost the last third of the cigar. I'm getting more tobacco flavor now, um, as opposed to the leather and pencil lead that I was tasting before. I mean, this cigar has nice transitions. Rich tobacco flavor again. And there's like a pencil lead in there. But this is like a more of a broader pencil lead rather than a sharp pencil lead. I love it. So I hope you all are having a wonderful day out there, a wonderful night. I hope life treats you well. I guess you can surmise that we're coming towards the end of this review um, of the Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte Churchill, or double Corona. I'm not really sure what the hell this thing is. It's either a Churchill or double Corona. I threw the box away, so hell if I know. It's either a Churchill or a double Corona. I'm guessing Churchill. About a 7 by 50. Um, Big ring gauge. Um, yeah, I'm hoping you are all well out there. Hope life treats you well. Just I hope you love your cigars as much as I do. Um, you know, and I guess just give you some more flavor notes of this cigar. Clear the palate with some fucking Balvenie. Oh, sorry, my language. Some freaking Balvenie. Yeah, that's a really good scotch. Some Starbucks coffee. Great to pair cigars and beverages. Just a wonderful cigar. Anyway, uh, best wishes. I'll close it out as I usually do. Um, Again, I'm getting a lot of rich tobacco flavor and pencil lead, which cuts through the richness of the leather, which is a great combination. Great cigar. Can't recommend this enough. The Cuban Stock Extra Fuerte Churchill, or whatever you want to kind of Cuban stock you want to get. Um, like I try to close out with every review. Good fortune, good health, good wealth, family, good friends, love, and hope you're all well out there. Hope you all are well out there, and take care.